is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Air passengers stranded as flights canceled due to an airline and union pay dispute and a sick-out. But Bahamas Air securing an injunction, the latest on what's happening. Tackling Eleuthero's utility woes, the latest on the challenges the islands faced. And the Office of the Prime Minister says it welcomes news of a new ambassador selection. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, December 19th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with Crime Stoppers Bahamas. They have something to say in light of that horrific incident involving a woman getting beaten on the street by a stranger. And later throughout the show, we're going to be talking about the mental health legislation that passed a few years ago. We're going to go through that to see exactly what can be done to address the challenges we are seeing every day across, especially New Providence, but also some other islands as well. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Bahamas Air securing an interim injunction in the Supreme Court ordering employees who took sick out back to work. The action by members of the Airport Airline and Allied Workers Union over disagreement about money they claim is owed to Bahamas Air workers, causing mass flight cancellations, leaving many travelers stranded during the busy holiday period. The injunction, granted by Justice Darren Ellis, restrains the union, its officers and members from taking part in any strike or industrial action against Bahamas Air when they are scheduled to work. The order said Bahamas Air employees are required to return to work when scheduled and cannot take part in any form of industrial action or take sick leave without a valid doctor's note. The order also bars the union from inducing, inciting, or intimidating Bahamas Air staff or encouraging them not to work. At a press conference yesterday morning, Bahamas Air Managing Director Tracy Cooper said some flight attendants, customer service operators, dispatch workers, and ground handlers called in sick severely impacting operations. Cooper said about 75% of the state-owned airline's flight attendants who were scheduled to work did not show up, causing Bahamas Air to only operate about 4 to 5 flights yesterday morning instead of the 12 that had been scheduled. On a typical day during the holiday period, the airline operates around 24 flights. Cooper called the union's actions illegal and unwarranted, and he demanded the employees return to work. Wiley said Bahamas Air will reach out to partners to help get flights off the ground. After the press conference, the airline issued a notice stating that all of yesterday's afternoon flights were canceled. Cooper explained that the airline and union executives were deadlocked in negotiations over pay that the union claims is owed to members, something Bahamas Air disputes. The union elected new leaders in September 2023, and Cooper says the team reached out to Bahamas Air executives in March 2024 saying money was owed to workers. The union requested additional increments be added to employees' salaries along with back pay for the 2018-2023 period. After months of frustration over unreliable utilities on Eleuthera, Central and South Eleuthera MP Clay Sweeting assuring that the government is working to fix the problems as he defended the Davis administration's efforts on the island over the past 3 years. His comments coming after more issues with electricity and water on the island over the last weekend. Sweeting telling reporters at a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister that they had a challenge with the transmission and distribution, not the generation issue, he says they're working on a plan for water. Also, from the Office of the Prime Minister, Press Secretary Keisla Adderley says the government is looking forward to having a U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas for the first time in over a decade, after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump nominated Herschel Walker for the role. She said the administration is, quote, very pleased that the appointment of a new ambassador appears to be imminent. That is pending confirmation. This is something that the administration has lobbied for and is happy to see the reinstatement of the U.S. representation in the Bahamas in its highest form for the first time since the Obama administration. The 62-year-old Walker, a former NFL player and ex-U.S. Senate candidate, has been a controversial figure in U.S. politics. The Republican lost the 2022 Senate race in Georgia. Adderley says the Davis administration will be happy to work with whomever the ambassador appointee is. A 27-year-old man forced a child out of a car at gunpoint and has been now sentenced to 6 years in prison. Frank Dorset received the sentence as part of a plea deal after he admitted his role in a crime spree. Dorset pleaded guilty to charges of armed robbery, attempted armed robbery, and aggravated assault when he appeared before Justice Joyanne Ferguson. On February 15, 2023, Wayne John went to use the ATM at the Bank of the Bahamas on JFK Drive, leaving his daughter in his 2007 Toyota Corolla. John said he saw his daughter running towards him and saying, as the car was driving away, his daughter told him that a man had ordered her out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The car was recovered the following day at Rock Crusher Road. Police found Dorset's fingerprint in the car. On November 6, 2023, at around 5 a.m., Ilsa Smith was at Sandyport about to begin her workout when an unmasked gunman demanded the keys to her vehicle. Smith says to wrest the keys from her hand when she refused. After he was unable to take the keys, the assailant demanded money. When she told him she didn't have any, he punched her in the face, injuring her eye. The robber fled when Smith screamed, alerting others. You can read more about the case in today's Nassau Guardian. An American-born author accused of kidnapping her son remains in custody as court officials await authorization to proceed with an extradition hearing. 43-year-old Barbara Shetabachev is wanted by the Swiss Confederation on allegations that she kidnapped her then 8-year-old son in February 2023. The child, who was placed in the care of the state following his mother's arrest last week, has reportedly reunited with his father. And an American housewife and her alleged lover will spend the holidays in prison after losing an appeal against a judge's decision to revoke their bail. Lindsay Shiver and Terrence Bethel were sent back to prison on October 28th after Senior Justice Cheryl Grant violated their bail conditions. They were granted bail in August 2023 on charges of conspiring to murder Shiver's estranged husband, Robert Shiver, in Abaco. The conspiracy allegedly took place on July 21st, 2023. Their lawyers appealing the decision on November 6th, and the appeal court reserved its decision. As part of her bail conditions, Shiver was supposed to reside with her parents in Alabama. However, it was revealed that she resided at several locations in Alabama and Florida without getting permission from the court. Grant Thompson has revoked their bail for all of many reasons. The panel of Justice John Isaacs, Justice of Appeal Milton Evans, and Justice of Appeal Bernard Turner ruled that the judge properly exercised her discretion to revoke bail. Overseas, France's President Emmanuel Macron traveling today to the Indian Ocean archipelago of Mayotte to survey the devastation that Cyclone Chido wrought across the French territory as thousands of people tried to cope without the bare essentials such as water or electricity. An airport security agent telling Macron as soon as he stepped was demolished. That security agent said her family, including small children, are without water or electricity and have nowhere to go after the strongest cyclone in nearly a century ripped through the French territory off the coast of Africa Saturday. Macron went on a helicopter for an aerial appraisal of the damage. He then headed to the hospital in Mayotte's capital to meet with medical staff and patients. Some residents are expressing their agony at not knowing about those who've died or are still missing, partly because of the Muslim practice of burying the dead within 24 hours. Mayotte's lawmaker Estelle Youssoufa says that they're dealing with open-air mass graves with no rescuers and no one to recover the buried bodies. Some survivors and aid groups have described the hasty burials and the stench of bodies. A court in France today sentencing the ex-husband of Gisèle Pelicot to 20 years in prison for drugging and raping her and allowing other men to rape her while she was unconscious, in abuse that lasted nearly a decade. The sentence against Dominique Pelicot was the maximum possible under French law. He was declared guilty of all charges against him. At age 72, it could mean that he spends the rest of his life in prison. He won't be eligible to ask for early release until at least 2/3 of the sentence has been served. The shocking case stunned France and spurred a national reckoning about the blight of rape culture. The lead judge of the court in the southern French city of Avignon sat down and cried. The judge reading out verdicts one after the other against Pelicot and the 50 other men tried in the case. Gisèle Pelicot's courage, grace, and stoicism during the ordeal of the hearings that stretched over more than 3 months also turned her into an icon for campaigners against sexual violence, including outside of France. Gisèle Pelicot was seated on one side of the courtroom facing the defendants and sometimes nodding her head as verdicts were announced. Delivering the guilty verdicts and sentences took the judge just over an hour. Dominique Pelicot's lawyer said that she would weigh a possible appeal, but also expressed hope that Gisèle Pelicot would find solace in the court's rulings. Of the 50 accused of rape, just one was acquitted, but was found guilty of aggravated sexual assault. Another man was also found guilty on the sexual assault charge that he was tried for, meaning all 51 of the defendants were found guilty in one way or another. In sports, Bahamian World Indoor Champion and world record holder in the women's 60-meter hurdles, Devon Charlton, launching the Devon Charlton Barrier Breakers Foundation at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. Charlton coming out of her own pockets and was the first donor to the program, putting $20,000 into the cause Wednesday. She said the foundation aims to provide student athletes with essential resources to support their athletic and academic pursuits. She's encouraging corporate Bahamas to come on board with them, emphasizing the importance of community involvement. And the finals of the 2024 Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association Giorgio Baldacci National Open Championships did not disappoint as the four semifinalists took center stage at the BLTA's National Tennis Center Wednesday. Up first was the battle between two former national champions and two Billie Jean King Cup teammates, as 2023 national champion Simone Pratt defended her title against 2021 national champion Sydney Clark in a rematch of last year's championship. The defending champion displayed great skill, but was not able to come out on top against Clark, winning in a straight set, 6-3, 6-4. It's Clark's third title, winning in 2018, 2021, and now again in 2024. Then the men's championship featuring two Davis Cuppers, both of whom represent the Bahamas in the 2024 Davis Cup competition. Collegiate athlete Michael Major Jr. seeking his first national title, but faced strong competition against Grand Bahama native Denali Nottage. Match ended under the lights in grand fashion, with Nottage prevailing 7-6, 5, 3-6. In the last 3 years, he also won in 2022. At sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Got your first look at weather this morning. We've got a surface trough across the northern Bahamas, along with available moisture. It's going to support some showers and isolated thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas while drifting eastwards today. A cold front and prefrontal trough will move into the northwestern islands today, enhancing shower and thunderstorm activity. Meanwhile, high pressure in the western Atlantic will shift eastwards, leading to a reduction in winds. So boaters in the northwest Bahamas should exercise caution in Atlantic waters, while they are advised not to enter the Atlantic waters across the central and southeast Bahamas. There also remains the moderate risk of rip currents in the northwestern islands along Atlantic exposures, while they're advised not to enter the water along east coast beaches and Atlantic exposures across the central and southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today for the northern islands, including Grand Bahama, partly cloudy with a 30 to 50% chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms. Wind south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly sunny, a 20% chance of isolated showers. Wind southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times. For the central islands, partly sunny today, a 10 to 20% chance of showers. And for the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds and a 20% chance of isolated showers. Winds southeasterly at 15 to 20 knots, gusty at times across the central and southern islands. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 82 Fahrenheit, 27, 26, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 71 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break. When we come back, though, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
This Christmas, Fidelity Bank is still the one. With one easy monthly payment, one fantastic way to save, and extra cash. Make that move to Fidelity Bank and apply for a personal loan for a chance to win extra cash today. Call 356-7764 for more details.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This Christmas, my husband put a smile on my face. He caught the store-wide sale on now at the Paint Place. With brands like Richards and Benjamin Moore, the Paint Place had the perfect color and he was out the door. Now the front room is fabulous. What a surprise! Cranberry red. I couldn't believe my eyes. Make the holidays stand up store-wide during the Christmas sale at the Paint Place.
When you've got to paint it right the first time.
Net items excluded.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or are tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village. Or call 396-1100.
This holiday season, the Water and Sewage Corporation is spreading joy with Deck the Halls with paid bills. Pay your bill in full by December 21st. Complete the entry form and you're entered to win amazing prizes like a hotel stay, round-trip Bahamas Air ticket, a 60-inch TV, and more. And here's a holiday bonus. Residential customers who pay within 15 days of the bill date get a 5% discount on their next payment. Don't miss out. Pay your bill in full today and celebrate the season with fabulous prizes. Visit WSC.com.bs for details.
Get ready for a magical Christmas marathon at the Nassau Cruiseport Amphitheater on Saturday, December the 20th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Bring your blankets and chairs and enjoy a night of nostalgic holiday classics with sweet treats and fun under the stars. Tickets are $10 for ages 13 and up, $5 for children 4 to 12, and free for little ones 3 and under. Purchase tickets at the door. Cash and card accepted. Don't miss the holiday fun at Nassau Cruiseport, the place to be.
This Christmas, my husband put a smile on my face. He caught the store-wide sale on now at the Paint Place.
With brands like Richards and Benjamin Moore, the Paint Place had the perfect color and he was out the door.
Now the front room is fabulous. What a surprise! Cranberry red. I couldn't believe my eyes. Make the holidays magical. Get 20% off store-wide during the Christmas sale at the Paint Place.
When you've got to paint it right the first time.
Net items excluded.
Around the world, Cleveland Clinic is recognized as a leader in healthcare. Our team of experts relentlessly pursues the best for our patients. From groundbreaking cancer research to state-of-the-art heart surgery, happen here every day. When it's time to travel for your health, it's time to travel to Cleveland Clinic. Your destination for care. for every care in the world. To learn more, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
End of the day, Lumpkin, the customers love the red suit. You think you could heist them pounds something a little more? We need to see more socks. But before you go, look at, I got some specials going on for the sale. I got 2 sets of 12 by 12 and 4 sets of 18 by 18 tiles. Now, the 12 by 12 Al Blanco is just that, Al Blanco. That and the peach and gray Alcala going for $2.15 a square foot. Now, I got 3 18 by 18 flagstone style and a high gloss gray and beige tile for $2.03 a square foot. But what you doing, Lumpkin? I'm looking for my pen. Sale ends December 21st.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
What gift gives you joy?
The gift of home renovations.
Apply for a personal loan with CIBC Caribbean and use your funds for a dream holiday, home renovations, or more, and we'll gift you no loan application fee and the chance to win one of 3 prizes up to US $100,000. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796 standard. Text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you.
You know, you had a birthday in there while I was away. Hope you had a great one. How was it?
It was good. It was really good. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, glad to have you back. And as we are here with our last Thursday before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Good to be back with you.
You ready? You ready for it?
For Christmas?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody is. Wonderful. All right, so we got...
Okay, I guess you're not.
Yeah, boy. We got a lot to talk about this morning. A lot going on. Bahamas there. We're going to get into that. Crime Stoppers is going to be joining us as well in light of what we were all talking about yesterday with that horrible incident. That poor woman who was attacked by apparently a stranger as she was getting off a bus, and the brutal beating. As so many looked on, but one hero came in and stopped the madness. And Crime Stoppers has a lot to say about that this morning. And we want to go through the mental health legislation that was passed a few years back, because obviously we are. I know the last time I was in Grand Bahama, I noticed it, Laverne, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I had never seen vagrants in Grand Bahama, any of the many times I'd been there before, but I certainly saw them the last time, which is right before the by-election.
Yeah, there's been an increased amount of vagrants, people just roaming the streets.
Yeah. So you're seeing it, and it's grown tremendously in New Providence. I mean, something is very wrong. We're going to look at what's happening and what the legislation allows to be done about it. That's all ahead. But let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, just want to say before we get to the Bahamas Air drama, a shout out to Devin Charlton. This is wonderful stuff that she's doing.
Yes.
What a really
That's
fantastic
a wonderful
initiative. Yeah, the Barrier Breakers Foundation to help athletes, provide student athletes with essential resources to support their athletic and academic pursuits. And she put up $20,000, the first $20,000 into this initiative, and she's calling again corporate Bahamas to join to help as well. We know this is a constant cry of students that they don't have the funding to do these things they love, and wonderful, wonderful thing that she's doing there. So, I mean, she is a world champion and an indoor record holder and a great Bahamian citizen and corporate partner, and everything, every adjective you can think of, that's what she's doing. So shout out to her. And I hope everybody will help support the foundation. More on that if you missed it in today's Guardian Sports section. All right, so Bahamas Air, big sick out, passengers stranded, many flights canceled over a pay dispute between the airline and the union. But last night or late yesterday, Bahamas Air secured an injunction, and that is going to that has ordered the Supreme Court now ordering employees back to work if they're scheduled to work, and if they're out sick, they need to provide a doctor's slip.
Okay.
All right. So if you missed it, take a listen to this report. This is what happened yesterday. This report from our Monique Toot.
Passengers are outraged over a staff sick-out which has severely impacted the airline's operations. 12 of Bahamas Air's 16 flight attendants called in sick, representing 75% of those required to work. This limits the amount of flights the national flag carrier can operate, and inconvenienced passengers are not happy. Karen Hepburn says it was suggested that she purchase another ticket from another airline for her nephew who is traveling.
I think it's really ridiculous because the passengers are suffering because of something that they decided to do. And I think it's a disservice to all the passengers here. I don't know what the resolve is. I was told that I should purchase another ticket at another airline. I think that's ridiculous. People don't have that kind of money to be purchasing tickets over and over again.
To add insult to injury, she says it is happening during the holidays when many people are traveling and pressed for cash.
You already spent all the money, so how are you supposed to purchase another ticket? People don't have money to throw around like that.
This mother says her children are scheduled to travel to spend the holidays with their grandmother. She called the situation stressful.
This is horrible. You don't know the plans. Everybody didn't have plans to care the kids. The money I had, what I spent, I can't even get that back to even say book a next airline. And my time, I have to be back to work for a certain time. It's just over stressful. This isn't even the stress you're dealing with in your own life. So this adding on top of that, this pushing me 5 to 10 feet back. This ain't making no sense.
Meanwhile, this frustrated passenger waited in line for over an hour, hoping to catch her flight to Orlando.
That wasn't for us. They realized that it's going to be no better around here.
And you said how long have you been out on the line today?
1 hour.
Where are you traveling to?
Orlando. And I'm a frequent flyer, but they must take that out of the book because you don't get nothing for that.
The airline was only able to operate 4 or 5 flights on Wednesday morning. In addition to 12 flight attendants, some staffers from customer service, dispatch, and ground handling also called in sick. Bahamas Air Managing Director Tracy Cooper has demanded that all staff return to work as a sick-out is an illegal action by the Airport Airline and Allied Union. He says the issue stems from a request by the union for Bahamas Air to make additional increment payments from its 2022 industrial agreement.
In September of 2023, there was a change in leadership at the AAAW. This new leadership reached out to Bahamas Air in March of 2024 to indicate that some increment payments for the 2018-23 agreements were still outstanding. They were looking for 6 additional increments to be added to salaries along with back pay. Bahamas Air's position. And it would require us to reopen the agreement and add increments to a contract that was already given 11.5% salary and 5 increments. In essence, the AAAW is now asking that for this 5-year period to have a total of 11.5% salary increase and 11 increments for that payout period.
In recent weeks, he says the Director of Labor has mediated several sessions between the two groups. The union submitted a proposal on December 9th requesting 6 increments, and Bahamas Air countered on the 16th with a proposal for 2 increments without back pay.
On Monday, we also outlined that Bahamas Air was willing to take the matter to the Industrial Tribunal and would abide by whatever conclusions made. Unfortunately, the AAAW did not respond to any of these offers and elected to take an illegal and unwarranted industrial action against the airline.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonique Tude.
Boy. Laverne? Are you there? Yeah, hey.
I'm here.
Okay, before we get into the story about that, have you been to Orlando lately?
No.
Do you know where it is?
Dwight.
Is it near
Ontario? Can we let that go?
Ontario
Can we
Florida?
Just let that go?
Anyway, okay, so hey, let's get your reaction to that. It's interesting how people talk when it's not their livelihood or their workplace, right? If it were them and they were calling out sick, like you just need to deal with it. But if it's somebody else, like, it's the end of the world. That's just human nature, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're already seeing some interesting text messages about whether the union is being greedy. Let's hear what you have to say. I can imagine the frustration. I know, we all know what that is like, to not have any answers, to be stuck, to be stranded, to be waiting, to be nonsense about you need to go and buy a flight, you need to go and buy another ticket on another airline. That would cause me to want to do something bad to the airport. But but they were in a really serious bind yesterday.
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't get managers, and I don't know if you have to be specially trained
Maybe
to be a flight
trained.
attendant or something.
Right. But, I'm thinking supervisors, maybe, I don't know if they were a part of this as well. You try to get whoever to cover whatever you can. In terms of telling people that they need to get another ticket on another airline, I would think that they would need to make those arrangements, right? That's not fair. If I've spent
not at all.
how much ever money I've spent, you cannot, through no fault of my own, I'm unable to travel because you have an issue. That should not be, the onus should not be on me to come up with additional funds to travel. I think Bahamas Air's responsibility was to try to, however it can, accommodate those guests with, if there's another airline, if you're traveling to Florida, well, with whatever other airline is, and see how best you can accommodate your passengers.
Yeah.
I was traveling the other day for my nephew's graduation, and we were delayed for 5 hours.
Wow.
And during that time, of course, you get your meal voucher, but there was also the option of rescheduling with with a sister airline or whatever they call it. Whether the ticket was more, the airline was covering it. If you had a connecting flight, then here's what we're doing. We're going to try to see if we can put you on another airline, or if you want to reschedule because you're not comfortable, because it was a smell on the aircraft. And so they wanted to investigate, check it out. And then they opted, when they got the part that they needed, they said, listen, We want to make sure that everything is okay with this flight. So we're putting you on another plane. But my point was, it's no fault of ours to go ahead and make those accommodations to try to help as best as they can. So for me, that's the unfair part.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily getting into, whether or not the employees are being greedy because we only have one side.
Yeah, and again, if
Of
you were a
what's-
worker
right.
and you felt that your employer owed you money,
Right.
you would do God knows what. I suspect some people, right?
Right.
But now in your situation, that's one aircraft, right? And those are people on one flight. So, but their challenge yesterday was much greater than that. That was all their flights.
Yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
I don't know if they could
But
have
I'm still
found partner
saying-
airlines to help them with everything. And so that's a tough one, a really tough one.
So then what do you do then
Yeah,
if you
well,
can't find partner airline? What do
we-
you do?
we
You give
will-
the people a refund?
Or we try to reschedule you as soon as we get operations back up
right.
and going.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're gonna reschedule whoever.
And honor the tickets, right? I mean, because
You have to.
they
you
don't
you
want.
absolutely have to honor the tickets,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
Boy, let's hear from you. The lines are all interesting text messages as well. Let's get to them. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi,
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good morning. Both you and Laverne. Merry Christmas
morning.
to you.
Same to you.
I do understand the argument on both sides, right? Having been a person who participated in a strike many years ago, the teacher strike, it's interesting because the thing is, it has to be done when it's most effective.
Yeah.
It's not popular. It's not going to be well received because I know as a teacher, to see those teachers, those parents frustrated, angry, we understand. So here I am this morning trying to understand both sides. Yes, it's very, very, very inconvenient to do such a thing at this time, the busiest time, travel time of the year. But it's most effective, and that is what people do when they go on strike, to get the attention of one.
Yes,
and all.
maximum impact.
Yeah. Because they certainly won't be paying attention to you otherwise.
Okay, so I hope it works out. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate you adding
Thank you, too.
perspective to this. Thank you. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Miss Palmer.
Laverne Gardner, yes.
Laverne. Oh, sorry.
Laverne.
Where you get Palmer from?
I don't know. I don't know why you struggle with my name.
I don't know. Your voice just do something to me in a good way, right?
Oh, boy.
Right. But
You
you
know,
just,
nothing
the
bad,
name
nothing
throws you.
Okay.
But anyhow, guys, Dwight, I mean, it's being alleged, right? That, maybe if we sell the BMW, right, we could afford to pay these people their money. Because that the Bahamas lost, $700,000 just for that strike, right? This being alleged now, right? And they owe the people them around $400,000 or $500,000, right? Who is the status quo managers at Bahamas there, right? I don't know, but that ain't adding up. That don't make good calculation sense, because if you owe the people them less than a W, right? Why can't they get paid? It's crazy. It appears that when Bahamians, we could find money for everything in this country, but when it comes to paying the slaves, we can't find no money. And if you all say anything, we get into the court to force you all back the way, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a very serious day in this country. You all have a wonderful day, and
Okay.
Warren, be beautiful as you are. Have a wonderful day.
okay.
Thank you so much.
Don't get this married woman in problems now.
What? Why, for a compliment?
Is that? Okay.
Well, who you think I'm
The
married to?
voice does something. Is it that they can't find the money? I think they have a disagreement over
No, it
what
doesn't
exactly
seem
is
as if-
Owed.
Right, it's owed. That seems to be where the dispute is.
Mhm.
Based on the report, the union is saying, "Hey, you've missed out 6 payments," and they're saying, "No, we already closed that part out. We've lived up to our obligation." So
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, man. You see what happens when you don't take recommendations from places like the IMF and those other places. Bahamas there really needs to downsize, right? It needs to down. Too much employees. It's too much. You can't even fulfill your obligations, man. And at the end of the day, the Bahamian people subsidize this thing. And if you ain't turning a profit, it comes out the purse of the Bahamian people. Okay? I understand that people have to, that they're entitled because that's the industrial agreement, and whatever you sign, yeah, the union might have discrepancies or whatever, engage in an industrial agreement with this airline. But to pay all of these staff, they continuously put into these corporations when they know they're overstaffed. It has been downsized before, and you brought people back for whatever purpose. And so what do you expect to happen?
Now you got these words are important though. Turn a profit is very interesting in the airline industry today. It's hard. It's hard. Especially on the short flights they run. I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing unless you want them to increase the prices. And I don't think anybody wants that.
But then why do you continuously overstaff the airline when you know you then can't turn a profit in the airline industry? But you continuously put staff and more staff for about 5 planes. 3 planes are down now. So you already have issues. It's a repeated cycle in this country, man, and we continuously make these type of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bahamian people are left, and travelers who, come on, man, these people, this is a vacation. If you would have come out of Miami trying to get the Exuma, you essentially lost your vacation. And this is how Bahamas has to pay their bills. So something has to give. These are the same people who we subsidize for their... When no planes were flying, we paid them full salary. Full salary. And, I'm just thinking the timing, is bad on behalf of the Bahamian people and travelers. Timing is bad for them. But it might be better timing for the employees to send a message. But someone got to be looking out for the welfare of the Bahamian people when we depend on this particular type of transportation.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable, in my opinion, it falls to the feet of Bahamas Air and the government because they allowed that to happen.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you very much. Well, like I was saying earlier, right, you need to have a backup plan. If those folks go on strike, you need to get these managers who might have been in those roles previously, I hope, you all going to have to get on these planes or something. Something's got to, right?
Right.
But it doesn't look like that happened. They don't appear to have that flexibility or didn't yesterday. And that's really, really unfortunate. Boy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Does Bahamas Air has an industrial agreement in place with the union?
I don't know if you're saying, what are you saying? Is it expired or something?
Did the Minister of Labor said that they had signed so many industrial agreements with different agencies, right? Wasn't Bahamas included in one of those agreements?
I'm not sure, but what's your point, though?
Well, my take on it is, if they weren't included, do you think the judge would have granted the injunction from the tribunal?
Okay, what's your point, though?
My point is, those staff at Bahamas here, especially those, and if you check the record, they all are playing. The majority of them are playing politics. This ain't about the staff at Bahamas here. This is about politics. Look at it right now. A particular union boss right now, leader, she's making noise talking about the 2 weeks pay, which haven't come into effect. And it's going to be better for the Bahamian people, okay? Because if you have to wait for 4 weeks to get paid, and you can get half your pay within that 4 weeks and get the other half at the end of the 4 weeks, don't you think it's better for you to pay your bills? Instead of waiting until the end of the month to be break from 1 month to the next month. They all playing politics, Dwight. You check it out. Have a nice day.
Okay. All right. I don't know why that broke my spirit just now. I feel like so everything comes down to POP and F&M. That's all everything is in the Bahamas. I mean, people aren't looking out for their own well-being. No, they got to be politically motivated. Every single thing. I mean, I don't know if he's right or wrong, but if it's tiresome.
Hey,
it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I'm not trying to delve into whether they are playing politics or not. There appears to be a dispute, and there needs to be a resolution. What I try not to do is tell people how they should pay their bills and spend their money. If people are owed money, pay them their money. You don't get to say to them, well, it'll be better because then that way you could pay your bills better. What? These adults, they'll figure out how to pay their bills. Just,
Okay. Hey, let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Miss Gardner.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Poppy here. Season's greetings. Merry Christmas. Dwight, let me say first, thank you. I got straight. I appreciate you, Dwight.
Wonderful. Good stuff.
Okay, Miss Gardner.
Hi.
I'm not trying to get no married woman in trouble. I like you, but not in that way. I like you from hearing your voice on the radio too, and I blind. So them said who could see, they hearing or feeling what I feeling as a blind person. So you're a lovely person. And for those who might know you better and disagree with me, sorry, but that's how she sounds to me.
Okay, well, Papa, let me say this to you. Let me say this to you, Papa. I like you too. And not
like me too, girl. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. God, guide and bless Miss Gardner and her family, please. And the rest of the people in Grand Bahama. You know that's where I'm from. Miss Gardner, you say November, what date?
No, December.
December 7th was my birthday.
7. That's the 7. Oh, that's my ex-wife's birthday. That's my ex-wife's birthday. And plus, you're a Sagittarius like me, gal.
Yes.
What's happening today?
Keep up the good
What's
work.
happening?
Right, thank you. I
What is happening? Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. See, you came back for this, Laverne. You know, you weren't going to get... Yeah, anyway.
Listen, I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Cousin Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Laverne.
Good morning, TNN.
What in the world is going on this radio this morning with you?
People are feeling the Christmas spirit. Everybody's feeling very jolly today about Laverne.
I want to know what's happening. But listen, Dwight, I am 110% behind unions. And that the caller before Papa, everybody know what his persuasion is. He'd make anything for he'd make gin.
I was going to say, maybe that's why the price of bananas are high. I don't know.
He probably throw back a red snapper because it's red.
Well, bananas are yellow, so I don't know. Right.
But do what I do. See, Bahamians, I'm 110% behind unions because when it gets to that point, I know I was a union man in the BCPOU. And I know when it gets to that point, you like the first caller say, it ain't make no sense striking if it ain't effective. Now, sorry, one or two persons can get, can feel the part of it. But if it ain't effective, then it ain't make no sense striking. Sorry with them. Now, you could do what I do, though. From 1983, I stopped flying Bahamas Air, man. Now, that can sound a little harsh, but I stopped. Because Bahamas Air ain't get it right. From way back when.
But that's not what we're talking about today, though.
But what I'm saying is if you want to avoid what the people, and you got a choice to make, man. It's as simple as that.
Any airline could go on strike at any minute. So it happens with the Americans. It happens with everybody as well. So
yeah, but at least with the Americans, Dwight, you get some kind of something. Bahamas, they wouldn't even give you a cup of tea. So... It's your choice, you know what I mean? It's our choice. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, the harsh reality there. Yeah, wow. Good morning, you're on the air. Hi, good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have a birthday coming up?
Who does?
Laverne.
No, her birthday was a couple days ago.
Okay, well, like Paul. And you're my favorite gal too, lady. No wonder.
Okay.
I just want to respond to the caller before the last one about politics, right? We really have to do better than we do, because that's not fair, what he say about the union making this about politics. But innocent persons have been affected, and ain't everybody interested or involved in politics. There are some Bahamians out there who truly just Bahamian. They ain't nothing about no politics, okay? And what the union is doing now, Dwight, this is the peak season for Bahamas Air. Just like when I work in the hotel, when you strike where it's more effective in the peak season, like during a spring break or a New Year's Eve gathering or so forth. So what they're doing, I recommend them for to stop involving Bahamian with politics. Just like the 2-week split salary. There are some persons who I know before having their salary at the end of the month, rather than having it every 2 weeks. And there are some who want to have it every 2 weeks rather than the end of the month. So we have our different views and trying to accomplish what, as Bahamian. It's not fair for persons who affiliate with politics. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
We're going to get to your text messages in just a bit, but let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Good morning.
Sagittarian in the house.
Oh, what's happening today? Is it a convention?
Well, I just want to say something, Laverne. Remember now, the arrow is in the bow, but the arrow never leaves the bow, yet still the chase is always on. That's us. But listen, has Bahamas ever, in any given year, turned a profit?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I don't
yeah, okay,
think,
because
I
it reminds me.
So, but I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But it reminds me of an airline that was formed some time ago called Trinity Air. And the airline went out of business because friends, families were able to fly at discounts and not paying the fuel bill. So maybe we need to look at the model that Bahamas is operating under and just revamp that and fix that so that everybody can be happy. Because I'm not getting the full story as to what is owed, what is not owed, what the union, all that is all mixed up in the political bag of confusion. But
I suspect they could turn a profit if they abandon the family island routes that they do, and if they flew further distances. But then I'm sure plenty of people will be very angry with them. Right?
Okay.
So they're providing a service to the Bahamian people that few other airlines are really interested in. We've got a few locals that are doing it. But what they do is not necessarily going to bring profits.
Okay, so
unless they really increase their fares, and then that would destroy them as well.
I see what we're doing. We're assisting the family islanders. Yeah. Well, I hope they resolve it, and please, because people are going to be forced to go back to work, and then their moral compass is going to be twisted. They're not going to perform well, and we need to keep the airline in the air. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank
you. All right. Thanks a lot. One final call on this, or a couple others. Good morning. You're on the air.
That me?
Yes, you're on. Good morning.
Quality days back in voice along with you, Laverne, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Right, I like what the gentleman had said, right? The last caller, right? The thing is, they had a little problem before, right? Some time back. I don't remember, but it's not much, right? And they got it reconciled. The thing is, Tracy Cooper, he a decent man. And I don't think they should get him caught up in such situation. The thing is, the government should fix the situation because the government had a little problem with the airline before, and it haven't been. I suppose it haven't been resolved if they back to the same situation. And don't daddy about Tracy Cooper because he is a decent man.
He's in the hot seat, so that's what you take the job, and that comes with it.
By virtue of the fact of his position, he is involved. I don't believe nothing that I've heard that it's a personal attack against him.
No.
Right, but it's by virtue of the role that he plays, he is going to be involved. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. The cost of leadership, right? You have to take the highs
That's a
and the
part of it.
lows. The highs and the
Right.
lows. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to you, Dwight. Good morning to you, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
3 points.
Good morning.
Yeah, 3 points. Yeah, 3 points.
You're Sagittarius
First of all,
too? Is that what you're going to
no,
say?
I'm the beginning of the year, Virgo.
Oh, okay.
That's the real zodiac sign. Tells you that Virgo's the beginning of the year. Same month Jesus was born in, not December. But that's another fight.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about Bahamas here. I've heard for my 2 decades of being 2+ decades of being home that Bahamas is supposed to return a profit. I don't know where we adopted this ideology from. Bahamas Air is called a lost leader. You know, Laverne, you go to the grocery store and they have butter for sale, and right there they have the eggs and the milk and everything else. And lost leaders is where it uses something to entice somebody into the store so you can make a profit on other things. So you would even sell things at cost or even below cost, knowing that you would make it up on other things. That was Bahamas Air intent, at least if you put it as part of the National Development Plan. Because they're supposed to, practically give free flights as they used to do to Laverne and Freeport. Remember all the free flights? Bring your free flights, bring your purse and your wallet, and then we'll empty it and send you back on another free flight. Oh, that's the way it's supposed to operate. But we've been trying to run it. I guess people don't understand the purpose of certain aspects of what it's supposed to do. This is why we should surrender all assets, known and unknown, seen and unseen, tangible and intangible, to a sovereign wealth fund, since we claim we can't run it, even though we run in government, and then we could have sovereign asset management that understands their purposes to run it. Since we like foreigners, we can get some foreigners, but I personally believe that we have behemoths competent without interference who can run it. Okay? Now, you have by the way, Laverne, do you know it is a conspiracy? The unions arranged to not be paid. The unions arranged that the people will go, the Bahamas Air people will go to the government and tell them, don't pay this, we already have it arranged, and we already have the strike day set up and everything. Okay? They say it's political, right? It all has to be arranged. I mean, every time something happens with this government, they blame someone else. They always blame it. Somebody doing something, and because it is, because just govern until we kick you out of office. But now let's go to the pay, the biweekly pay. Laverne, or Dwight, contract law, right? These workers, 40,000 of them, have contract for cars, have contract for mortgages, have contract for payments, have contract for kids off in school and everything. And the government has a contract with the union, with the workers. And the government is just arbitrarily changing not just the contract they have with the workers, they want to change the contract with the banks, the credit unions, the finance companies, the schools, and everything, because they're taking the people from a 12-month-a-year pay period to a 13-month-a-year pay period. You see? Because when you pay biweekly every 2 weeks, you end up at 13 months in a year. So here it is, let's use $22,000 as an example. I have deductions of $830 per month. I get paid $1833 per month. I get paid. I get deduction of $1830. I get paid $1833. The problem is now when I go to the $1692, unless some whole contractual thing arranged with every person I have available, credit cards, everything, I only take home $1,692 on this 13-month schedule. So every month I'll be short $140. You know what happens? Late fees, charges, all these other different things. This is not a simple task the government is having, and the government has not talked to the union. They haven't talked to the banks. They haven't talked to the credit union. They haven't talked to anybody. We have to ask the question, why is this so important? That's the question the government has to answer.
Okay.
For them wanting to shove everything down our throats like they do. And secrecy. BTC is a secrecy. The bidding is a secrecy. Everything this government does violates what they promised in their blueprint for change.
Wow.
I don't see any other choice but to dispose of them in the next election. Thank you so
All
much.
right, very interesting. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. More on this, and Crime Stoppers Bahamas is here. They have a special announcement to make, and we're going to talk about that horrible incident a couple of days ago with that poor woman who was beaten by a stranger. All of this on this busy Thursday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
Time for your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Make your Christmas ideas come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. In your real-time traffic this morning, Milo Butler Highway, still heavy traffic for you, but not what you normally see at this hour. So definitely we are in a different holiday mode. And so north of Fire Trail, well north, as you approach Harold Pond is where you'll see that long line of traffic in front of you on the way to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, the roundabout there. Also seeing a bit of slow-moving traffic along Carmichael near Mott Avenue, mainly eastbound, and a bit of congestion eastbound on Carmichael as you get closer to Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road's going to be busy for you once you get over the hill heading towards Independence Drive northbound. And East Street looking busy north of Soldier Road northbound toward East-West Highway. Robinson Road, just west of Old Trail on the way to East-West Highway, and Marathon Road, you'll be seeing slow-moving westbound traffic, and as you approach Old Trail as well, on Robinson Road westbound. Otherwise, not much to talk about on this Thursday morning. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Visit a branch or rbc.com/Christmas ideas today and find the right loan for you. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got a surface trough across the northern Bahamas, along with available moisture. It's going to continue to support showers and isolated thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas today while drifting eastwards. A cold front and prefrontal trough will move into the northwest Bahamas today, briefly enhancing shower and thunderstorm activity as it pushes southeastwards through Friday. Meanwhile, high pressure in the western Atlantic will shift eastwards, leading to a reduction in winds. Your forecast Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, partly cloudy, partly sunny for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, and for the central islands, partly sunny as well. A mix of sun and clouds for the southeast Bahamas. Look for high temperatures around 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius today. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 71 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Friday, tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, about a 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers. Saturday, expecting another cold front to move in, and that's going to bring partly cloudy conditions across the northwest and central Bahamas, partly sunny across the southeastern islands. We'll see variably cloudy conditions by Sunday, and partly cloudy to cloudy conditions by Monday. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Get a deal on all 2024 electric vehicle models in stock at Easy Car Sales. Visit their online store at easy242.com for financing, discounts, and rebates while they last.
Lysol Power Cleaner kills 99.9% germs, even when diluted.
gives you more cleaning power per ounce and has 10 hours of fragrance burst. Lysol Power Clean 2 times concentrated multi-surface cleaner is perfect for disinfecting your environment during the cold and flu season. You can find a Lysol concentrated product at a store near you.
Ho, ho, ho! Get ready for Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. You can win a Cybertruck, a split of $50,000, and loads of more cash prizes via Spin the Wheel and the Cash Vault. It all goes down December 27th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the FML lawn. To earn a ticket to win, spend $20 between December 9th and 27th at participating Everybody Wins stores. The more tickets, the more chances to win. It's going to be live DJ, food, prizes, and surprises. It's the Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. Game responsibly.
What's that one gift you've longed for?
My own home.
Build or buy your home with financing from CIBC Caribbean, and we'll gift you up to US $3,000 towards your legal fees. No loan application fee and up to 95% financing. And if you switch your mortgage to us, take the gift of no switching cost up to giving more with double the chance to win one of 3 cash prizes in your country. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for unique and exciting Bahamian experiences? Street Smart has you covered. Whether it's snorkeling, cultural tours, or hidden dining gems. And for local business owners, this is your chance to get in front of millions of visitors by joining the Street Smart platform. Showcase your products and services. Street Smart is your connection to unforgettable experiences. Visit StreetSmart242.com today. Sign up and let's show the world the best of the Bahamas. Street Smart, connecting you to unforgettable experiences. Download now.
Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store, has the perfect gifts just for you. Now until December 24th, you can get 5 to 50% off everything in store, plus 20% off Christmas lights, 25% off artificial Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and all toys. Standard Services, just around the block with everything in stock. They have everything you need to keep everyone happy this Christmas season. Get the perfect gifts, plus 5 to 50% off everything at Standard Services on Shirley Street, your everything Christmas store. Open Sunday, December 22nd. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong, along with Laverne Gardner on this Thursday morning. Okay, we're going to get back to Bahamas Air a little bit later in the show. But right now, we want to get into something we were talking about at great length yesterday. This horrific incident involving that woman who was beaten savagely by a man she apparently does not know as she was getting off a bus in front of so many people in broad daylight on Tuesday. And joining us to talk about this and to make a very special announcement, our friends from Crime Stoppers Bahamas are here, Marissa Hawaii and Francis Mackenzie Oliver. Always a pleasure to see you. Season's greetings. Great to have you with us.
Same to you, Dwight, and season's greetings to Laverne, too. I wish one day we'll see her in person here in the
We
studio.
got to work on it. Right, Laverne?
Yes, absolutely. Good morning.
Good morning, Laverne.
All right, so Marissa, you called me yesterday after the show. You heard we were talking about. We had so much to talk about. The violence of this incident was shocking, but also the inaction of most of the people who were there, and a lot of people were there. That we're asking, what would you have done if you were in this situation? Would you potentially risk your life to help save somebody who's being beaten to nearly death? And that's a tough question. But, of course, we saw in the video that went viral, there was one man who came forward and put an end to the madness. But let's get into your reaction to the video and where we are right now.
Well, good morning, Bahamas. As Dwight says, it was a horrific and atrocious crime that we all unfortunately got to witness because someone taped it. But I guess if they hadn't taped it, we would not have believed how horrific and atrocious the crime that was being committed. And as Dwight said, we later found out that the lady did not have any relationship to the gentleman, so we're not sure why he lost it and what triggered him to respond the way we did. But we also talk about Crime Stoppers, and Crime Stoppers is about solving crime and stopping crime. And even though it's normally done anonymous, we think that this gentleman, having stepped up to do the right thing, the honorable thing, was deserving of a reward. And as you know, Crime Stoppers is about giving rewards for people who help stop and intervene, well, in this case, intervene in a crime. So we thought, hearing Dwight and Chester yesterday back and forth about it, we wanted to encourage to say, we as a people, we as Bahamians normally do the right thing, and we wanted to reward the young man for having stepped up and done the right thing to stop the crime. Mm-hmm. So we are giving a reward. We're just working with the police to make sure we can identify the correct person who, stepped up to the plate, and then we will offer a reward. We'll offer him the option if he wants to be named publicly, or if he just wants to receive the reward in private, we will do that. But that's our intent, to give a reward. It's Christmas also, so I'm sure he can do. He could enjoy the funds and do something.
It's wonderful that you're doing this, and I hope we find him and we can salute him properly if he wishes. But this is wonderful that you're doing. So we were talking about this off air. Francis, you can jump in as well. That you were very disturbed that more people didn't jump in and do something, and you are, as many people are, questioning our humanity, our Christianity, everything about us. What is happening here? Is it the fear? Are we just different people now? Are we all in our own little bubbles, our own world? Or are we looking out for our safety? You just don't know what you could get yourself into. What do you think is really happening?
I think a lot of people are afraid, and not only just afraid this type of incident, but many other incidents that they don't even want to report, because people know a lot of other things that they have not yet reported. But what I really want to do, if this young man is hearing, just basically tell him thank you. I know he did not do it for a reward, but a thank you from the whole Bahamas, I should say. What we are focusing on, thanking him for being able to rescue her, because he could have been now charged with murder. And if this young man hadn't come up and helped, that lady could have died at the scene of there. What would have happened at that time? Would the police officer come and arrest that young man who may have hit or got involved in it? Or would that young man who was hitting her hit the guy and he died? So there's so many things that we have to think about. But my thing is, we have a responsibility for each other, loving each other, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. That young man had to have had something desperately wrong, because he didn't want to steal from her because her purse was there. And he used her as a basketball, actually lifting her and throwing her down. So something had to trigger it off in his mind. What is wrong? So we have to look at him as well to see what went wrong with him as well in this situation.
Yeah. Marissa?
Well, Dwight, I think we watch too much TV. I think we as island people, we as Bahamians, we know what it is to do the right thing and should be concerned about always doing the right thing. I mean, it is ironic. It was in front of a church, a Christian church, St. Barnabas, and, we as Christians say we believe what Christ taught us. We love our neighbor. We think about if it was a family member, how would we have felt if nobody rushed in? They talk about the fact that it was a taxi driver who filmed the scene. I think the taxi drivers need to be concerned because they are very much exposed when they go out and do journeys at night or whatever. And I think they would want to believe that if they were in a bad situation and we saw what was happening, we would step in and help them. It's hard. I know we think, okay, people have guns and stuff today, but especially in this situation, there were so many people around. We have to believe that people could have rushed that guy and take him down rather than blow their horn and just film it. As a female also, it's horrendous to think, that something was happening like that and nobody thought to come in sooner to stop the crime. We are not Americans. We don't live in a space. We are accustomed to helping our neighbor, doing what's right. And I think we need to get back to our roots as Bahamians, as people who know that we know our neighbors. We grew up knowing that we helped our neighbors when we can. In most cases, even last week in church, the priest preached that he was from West End and Grand Bahama, that when they cooked on a Sunday, they cooked for the neighborhood. They didn't just cook for themselves. So this is what we are, and we need to go back to what we are, to doing the right thing, to being our neighbors' keepers, Francis said, and helping out. We cannot take the isolated approach. Oh, yes, he may have had a gun, but if enough people rushed him, he wouldn't have had time to react. We saw what was happening. He didn't pull out the gun initially, so he would not have had time if people rushed him. So I think, we as Crime Stoppers want to remind people that doing the right thing, it pays, it does pay. The guy was, as Francis said, was not expecting a reward, but hopefully he would appreciate the reward. It's a nice reward we are offering to him. And, but it's more about getting to the root of what we are as a people and saying that there are lots of crimes out there also, other so horrific crimes that we didn't get to witness, that Crime Stoppers is about reporting, and in all cases, you don't even have us, and that's the essence of our program, to report something, a crime that you know about or a crime that you've witnessed, and report anonymously to help stop the crime, because we all need to work on stopping the crime before it's our time, which is our logo.
Yes. All right, so I don't mean to be the negative Nancy here, right? But we talked about this off here. We've seen this before in other places. Good Samaritans come forward, whether it's helping somebody stranded on the side of the road, and then some car loses control, and you're the one paralyzed. Other people who might have been injured, lost an eye or something while trying to help somebody. The fear is very, very, very great. What do you say to people like, it's not worth it for me? We got messages yesterday, people saying, I have daughters, I have sons, I have a family to be there for. I cannot put my life in danger for other people who are going through trauma. What do you say to folks who make those claims, of course?
They're valid claims. So you remember who was in control. Because if you're doing something in the name of the Lord, you're already protected. So therefore, you're not supposed to be a fearful type of person. You don't have to be a bigoted person either. You could just be a person who was sent by God to help somebody else. So you just don't think about you yourself. That has been very selfish. I have been in situations where I had to rescue one or two girls that I know from the boyfriends and stuff like that. But I knew that I didn't have to push him or whatever, because the fact that in another day or two you'll see them walking the road in any event. But if you stop him at that particular time, you save his life, because one blow can be a detrimental blow. And so therefore that's the only thing your business is to try to stop that second blow if you see there's a second blow coming along. And most of the boys are respectful for an older person talking to them, so therefore they will listen. But if everybody's just cheering him on, look at the fights in the school. If the fights in the school, if they didn't have persons, cheerleaders cheering them on, and the fights would not escalate as high as it's doing in the school.
That's a very interesting point. Yeah.
Dwight, I come back to we watch too much TV. As I age to maturity, as I talk to my friend, I think everything happens for a reason and a purpose. If I was in that situation, I would have stepped in, right? Now, like we all say, in today's world, it's a different world. You know, when we grew up, it was bottle and rocket throwing. Now people are pulling guns. We are quite aware of that. But as I say, as I age to maturity, I'm starting to think everything happens. So if I was to get injured in that situation, I think then God is putting me in that other situation for a reason and a purpose that I need to just find out why I'm being put in this reason and purpose and try to deal with it. So like you say, if I got injured, then maybe it was for me to learn something, life lessons or learn something. But I certainly believe that we cannot become so North Americanized. I know it may sound bad to say that but that's what we're becoming, to become desensitized and become so scared to get involved. You know, that's not us as a people. That's not what we grew up understanding. You know, we knew our neighbors. We stepped in and always helped our neighbors, and we've got to go back to that. Otherwise, that's why we lose in our country. That's why we have so many unfortunate homicides for the year, because we're not stepping in and doing the right thing. You know, you used to say it takes, you know, a village to raise a child, and that's what we have to do, which is extended, you know, care and concern about our fellow citizens. That's what we knew when we grew up, and that's what we're losing. Yeah. And this is an example of where we're saying we're scared to do it, but too much TV, and that's what we see on TV, you know?
Laverne, I don't mean to, I'm doing it. Putting you on the spot there. We heard yesterday what Chester said he would do. I said I don't know what I would have done. But Laverne, what would you have done had you been stuck in traffic and seen that going on?
Well, Dwight, let me be honest with you. I'd probably be one of those people. It probably would have been two women, because I know myself well enough to know that I just could not. I wouldn't, number one, I wouldn't be able to film that. I'd be too horrified. But I wouldn't be so horrified that I wouldn't feel the need to help. I don't know what that looks like. For me, I don't know if that's just me rushing there and yelling for the person to stop, but I know because of the type of person that I am, I would be spurred to act in some way. And I don't make light of course, by doing that, you are putting yourself at risk. So I understand when, you know, there's a risk involved, but I have to tell you, I believe that we have a responsibility for each other. And I just could not, as much as I might have been putting myself in danger, I would need to do something. When I saw, and you know, Dwight, I very rarely open videos. I don't know why I opened that one. You know, I'm always careful of what I expose myself to.
Yeah.
And when I opened that, it was heart-wrenching for me. It broke my heart. It brought me to tears. Me too. And not just for the young lady, but also because no one did anything except for that young man. And as I was having a conversation with my sister-in-law yesterday, I said, even if there were 4 men, 4 guys, all rushing this one gentleman, you know, there's power in numbers, but yeah.
Just the appearance might have frightened him off, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because as soon as notice what happened, as soon as that gentleman came and pushed him, they didn't even get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Boy, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your co-host.
Hi.
Good morning.
And tell I'll be belated birthday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and the reason giving you go.
Thank you.
Despite the fact that, the substitutes do a pretty good job, but we miss you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I called to give you some points on this situation of that lady, which is speaking about now. I was trying to call yesterday, but didn't get through. To buy all females for Christmas. Buy them on pepper spray, man. Now, what the problem is, people see things happen, they don't know how to approach it until they be afraid So when that guy was attacking a woman the other day, now if I was around, I would know what to do. Because I could just tell you, if you got a piece of wood, you're whopping with his ankle, you got him. Outside of that, if you got a pepper spray, you spray him. These people need to arm themselves with pepper spray. They got to buy it at the pepper spray. It's legal in the Bahamas to have pepper spray. But when you travel, they just say you can't take it with you in the aircraft. So it got to be legal. So buy all your female family members a pepper spray for Christmas.
All right. I hear you, John. Our guests from Crime Stoppers, they're shaking their head. Marissa, why are you shaking your head? Thanks, John. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Because I myself was attacked one time with somebody stealing my bag. The problem that happens is it happens so fast and so quick, you don't have time to react, right? People talk about having a whistle. Having a whistle is for when it's dark or whatever, which the Prime Minister talked about getting whistles, which is fine because at night or stuff if you have to walk. But in a situation like this, generally it happens so fast or so quick. You don't have a time to go grab from your handbag or whatever. You saw where your handbag was to be able to think. You know, so pepper spray may be good if you see somebody's approaching, but in a lot of cases, and a lot of times when people you use the moment of surprise, that is their element to be able to, perpetrate the crime. So, and when it's a surprise and it happens that quickly, you cannot really attempt to go back to get pepper spray.
Well, what if we change and become our brother's keeper and everybody is armed while you are being attacked, other people approach and pepper spray the individual? That could do something.
That would work. That would work. But I still think, people could have, even to think to rush it, like Laverne said, I mean, what really triggered me, Dwight, is when I was banking, as I told you, Navy Line Road, and I continued to hear you and Chester debate it yesterday. It did bring tears to my eyes also to think, what this lady went through, and also that nobody felt the need to jump in. Laverne hit it point on, as she always does anyway, that nobody felt the need to run in. It was so heart-wrenching to think. So pepper spray might be good, but if it was only females there, yes, but we shouldn't minimize the fact that there were so many other people around and nobody felt the need except this one guy who finally came up and saw, and he felt the need. We need to address that as a people and find out why are we in that way. We are our neighbors' keepers, as Laverne said.
Let's take a couple.
Dwight,
Laverne?
Sorry. You know what I thought of? It really, and you could, maybe I'm just naive. I've grown up where I always believed that someone would help me. If I was in a situation, I always believed, and that because of who I know us to be as a people, I have always believed that if I am in a situation, even if it's a stranger, I believe that we would help each other if we saw each other in dire straits. And so watching that and seeing no one assisting her, it took away a bit of the naivety in me to think that if it was me, if I was being attacked, no one would really come and help me. And I used to think that. I used to think that if I'm somewhere and something happens, surely someone would come and help me. Now I don't have that confidence, right?
Wow. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight, this is me again.
Okay.
I think the lady misinterpreted what I'm trying to say. I hope you all kept that thing. I was saying the persons on the bus, even if there were females on that bus but no males, they didn't know what to do because they were in a state of panic. Not necessarily the attacker could spray. I'm saying those persons on the bus, they just people didn't know what to do. If they had pepper spray to get on spray his head, or even a guy on the bus didn't know what to do, so he could remember the guy killed the bus and run back on the bus. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
If you grab his ankle, he's going to bring him down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You got to know what to do. To have these people prevent, after you execute.
Okay.
So if you know what to do before something happens, you don't have to be in a state of panic. That's my point. Prepare yourself for these things.
Yeah, we got that eventually. Yes. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. Let's take one more call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? No, okay. This person says here, this text, yeah, okay, let's do that. Yep. Good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your guests as well.
Hi.
Dwight, yesterday
Morning.
when I spoke with you, I didn't get the opportunity to commend the young man, but on Aaron's show, I didn't make a suggestion. I'm so glad to see that Crime Stoppers has come forward to offer a reward and hopefully an award. I can do a plaque for him, just to show people that yes, there are times when you, and I'm sure this young man didn't do it for any kind of recognition. He thought that somebody was in distress, and he didn't really think about himself. He just thought about the individual. So I just want to commend Crime Stoppers, and I hope this would be a catalyst for all of us to be our brothers' keepers, to be concerned as a so-called Christian nation, to love, as the Bible says, to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. As a father of 3 daughters, if that was my daughter, I would have wanted somebody to step in. And that texter who said he has two children and he in order to live for, I'm sure if it was one of his children who was being abducted or molested in any way, and people were standing by, he would have wanted somebody to say, you know what, let me see if I can save this child. Let me see what I can do in order to save this individual. But so many times we just think about ourselves, but not realizing that our time's in God's hand. And as I go, because, it's amazing that in a plane crash, sometimes just one person may survive that plane crash. One person may survive that accident because that God, our times are in His hand. So I just want us to be a community, to love one another, to care about each other. Just maybe this crime will go down. I mean, I know there's a commercial that Crime Stopper puts on where the woman say, "Who, me?" When you look, I end up on the side of the car. Mm-hmm. So people are afraid to talk. So but we got to get out of that fear, man. Thank you.
Okay. One more call. And I've got a couple messages. All right, caller. Good morning. You're on.
For the opportunity.
Hi.
I just wanted to chime in on this whole conversation, primarily because I was deeply disturbed and angered by what I saw transpired and the fact that nobody really jumped in to assist the young lady in such a situation. I mean, the pits of my stomach felt it just watching it on the telephone, and I was so angered and disappointed that so much of these things could be happening. We as a nation cannot allow our courage to evaporate in situations like that. We cannot allow evil to prevail in our presence and expect us not to be all vulnerable if we allow such behaviors to persist. If certain people believe that they can do certain things and nobody's going to jump in, imagine the kind of chaotic environment that we'll have in our country. We have to not allow ourselves to be crippled by fear in the midst of other people being harmed. I get all the understanding that there may be issues where people may find themselves harmed as a result of stepping in. But what are we doing here? I mean, and that could have been what happened if he did pull out a gun and shot her in the head. I mean, and the other aspect of it is that he was even allowed to just run away so casually. All those vehicles there, nobody even thought enough to just try to stop him in some way, to hold him down, to make sure that the police get him.
Well, someone followed. Someone apparently followed and was able to tell the police which area he went in. So,
well, that's
hopefully.
Good. But the overall fact, though, is I'm so deeply disturbed that as a nation to be in a state of being crippled when we see such level of violence being perpetrated on a female in our presence, in such a public forum, and nobody step in. That's alarming and that's disturbing, and we really need to re-examine ourselves. We really need to re-examine ourselves in that. But thank you for the opportunity, and I urge all Bahamians, don't allow crime to cripple us. We have to make criminals respect us, make them afraid of law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
That's my stand.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I just want to read these messages before we go. This person says that the young man is literally the Good Samaritan. It is the same biblical story. Hundreds passed an injured person on the road. Some of them knew the injured person but did nothing to help. One man stepped up to help someone clearly in need of help. He was the Good Samaritan. Yeah. These are tough times. But again, we salute you for coming forward to offer the reward to this hero, and we thank him for everything that he did, for helping to save a life. And we just hope we all learn from this, learn that we just cannot be so passive, apathetic, and inactive. Any final words you want to say to the Bahamian people?
Well, Dwight, again, like I say, we thank you for partnering with us. We will keep you informed when the police let us know, when we have identified the young man, and if he wants to come forward, we'll ask you to have him on the show. If he doesn't, well, we'll let you know that he did get the reward. Just as we always say, just to let you know, Crime Stoppers, as far as Crime Stoppers go, we're coming out with a new app. So hopefully next year we'll come to visit you when the new app is out in the stores. But to end, we want to say it's a holiday season, so let us all try to, as we say, be our brother's keeper. And we end by saying what Crime Stoppers logo is, which is we should all work to stop the crime before it's our time.
Yeah, absolutely. Marissa Y. and Francis Mackenzie Oliver, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, again, it'll be under more pleasant circumstances next time we see you. Mm-hmm. But keep up the great work that you all are doing. Yes. Crime Stoppers Bahamas.
And compliments to the Season Bahamas. Compliments, Laverne and Dwight. Stay good. Stay upbeat. You just had vacation.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the same to you.
Yeah. We're going to take a break and be back with more. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
As a home, stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and prices. Whatever you want, we got it all. Promise Furniture, no wonder. We give it you. We make it worthwhile. Giving you quality, comfort, and style. Quality and style, yeah. Promise Furniture, no wonder. What we give it you. We make it worthwhile. Giving you quality, comfort, and style. Promise Furniture.
Esso is celebrating the season of joy and giving away a year of free fuel. To enter, visit any Esso service station and fuel up with $25 or more for a chance to win. Plus, there are other exciting prizes to be won. Just remember to write your name, number, and email address at the back of your receipt and drop it into one of the boxes provided. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion ends January 9th, 2025. So don't forget to enter to win with Esso. Esso and the Esso logo are trademarks or registered trademarks of ExxonMobil Corporation or one of its subsidiaries.
Celebrate the magic of Christmas with Sugar D's and their freshly baked holiday treats. From indulgent desserts to warm, comforting pastries, they have everything to make your season sweeter, like their standard cakes in red velvet, chocolate, vanilla, carrot, and Oreo. And of course, their specialty cakes like German chocolate, pina colada, and so much more. Pre-order now and share the joy of the season by calling 552-8624.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
Here's the show-winning art from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobbycraft,
Oil shrimp,
glaze.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Hey, Santa here. I'm thinking of getting a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas.
Hi, Santa. Sounds perfect. With a Scotia Plan loan, you can use it to cover personal bills, renovate the North Pole, or even fund a little vacation with Mrs. Claus.
A vacation after Christmas sounds perfect. What kind of benefits are there?
We have competitive rates, plus you won't have to make any payments for up to 2 months.
How long? And Mrs. Claus can't wait to get started.
At Scotiabank, we have a plan loan for everyone. Sign up for your plan loan today.
Well, happy holidays to all of those persons out there being able to celebrate during this festive season. I pray that the Father continues to watch over you. This is Howard Grant from the Foundation. Just wanted to extend a happy holidays to you and yours from me and mine. We hope for all the best during this season and many, many more. Enjoy yourself and have a great time from the Foundation and all of us here at Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
And it's time for your final look at weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got surface trough across the northern Bahamas along with available moisture. That's going to continue to support showers and isolated thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas while drifting eastward. A cold front and prefrontal trough will move into the northwest Bahamas today, briefly enhancing showers and thunderstorms as it pushes southeastward through Friday. Meanwhile, high pressure in the western Atlantic will shift eastwards, leading to a reduction in winds. Boaters in the northwest Bahamas are being advised to exercise caution in Atlantic waters, while they are also advised not to enter Atlantic waters across the central and southeast Bahamas. There also remains the moderate risk of rip currents in the northwest Bahamas along Atlantic exposures, and boaters are advised not to enter the water along East Coast beaches and Atlantic exposures across the central and southeastern islands. Okay, so for today, for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama and Abaco, partly cloudy, but partly sunny for the rest of the northwest Bahamas and the central islands, and a mix of sun and clouds for the southeastern. Temperatures today look for highs around 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 71 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Friday tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds over most areas. Partly cloudy across the northwest Bahamas and central islands. For Saturday, partly sunny across the southeastern islands. And for Sunday, variably cloudy, partly cloudy to cloudy by Monday. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Bahamas and Sherwin-Williams Paints. The season spruce up sales going on now until December 24th. Save up to 20% off paints, up to 15% off art supplies. Again, through December 24th, the season spruce up sale at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas. And time for your final look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Make your Christmas ideas come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. At this hour, we've got just a bit of congestion as you are on Milo Butler Highway near Harold Pond. If you're heading northbound to the roundabout with Tawny Williams Darling Highway, traffic backed up a little bit on Tawny Williams Darling Highway westbound at this hour as well. Then we've got Blue Hill Road seeing some congestion near Carmichael, and again north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive as you get over the hill if you're heading northbound. And Robinson Road is busy just east and west of Old Trail Road if you're heading westbound towards Marathon, and east-west highway, Marathon Road busy for you, Marathon. And then Saunders Beach, well, actually, Junkanoo Beach, just east of Arawaki. You're going to be seeing slow-moving traffic as you approach Nassau Street on West Bay. Not much to talk about at this hour, but definitely heavier traffic later in the day with the holiday shoppers out and about. That is your morning blend traffic brought to you by RBC. Visit a branch or rbc.com/Christmas ideas today to find the right loan for you. All right, we're going to go to news in just a bit, Laverne. Before we do, we got some text messages in response to that last segment there. Interesting text messages. This person says here, law-abiding citizens should have the right to carry firearms to protect themselves. The fear of that insane man turning on them was real in the minds of many of the onlookers. Hindsight is 20/20, and the police are not everywhere at the same time, and we all know of incidents where the one who came to help was killed. My mentor in the Valley Boys, was killed when he stepped in to stop a fight some years ago. So this is not a small matter. So you began the text by saying law-abiding citizens should have the right to carry firearms. So you're suggesting what? That somebody there, if that were the case, should have shot that man? Yeah? That would be the best thing to do? Yeah? Huh. Okay. Laverne, what do you think about that?
Dwight, you know how I feel about firearms.
You should say it so people can hear.
I'm not a supporter of firearms.
I don't think that would have been the answer there. I think what people are suggesting.
I don't know how even with that works because, again, people panicking,
Again, you don't know the situation. We don't know what's what. That you're making a lot of assumptions. If you decide that you are going to potentially take that person's life, that's very risky. This is exactly why you don't want everybody having firearms, because you don't know what you're seeing. You're just in the middle of the situation. Get and stop the incident. That's much better than shooting to potentially kill somebody without all the facts. That's just crazy. But anyway, you've decided that you should, as a bystander, be the judge, jury, and executioner and decide who gets to get potentially killed. Well, and here, of all places. So the day when we do this and decide that Bahamians should be allowed to carry firearms, it's the day I pack up a bag and I don't know where I'm going, but oh God. I'd probably do better in Texas than to be here with people carrying guns. This person says here, everybody's saying that what they would have done, but the bystander effect is real. Jesus Christ was innocent, but everybody stood by and allowed him to be crucified. I don't know what your point is with this. That's kind of weird, but okay. So it's very hard to come to the conclusion, what would you have done if you were in a specific scenario? Post-mortem is false thinking, I think they're trying to say. So you say they let Jesus get crucified, so that's why I'm gonna.
That was that they weren't supposed to. Let's.
That was a bit weird.
They weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to prevent him from being crucified. What happened for a reason and a purpose.
Well, now don't say that now, because everyone say, well, whatever is happening to this person getting beat up is for a reason, so I'm not going to step in.
Well,
but let's just leave Jesus out of this one. Let's leave Jesus.
I don't know if what happened on that bus stop was for redemption of mankind, but okay.
This is not fun. Anyway, okay. But hey, as Christians, you're not supposed to just sit back and allow someone to be beaten to nearly death. That's the point. But not the bringing up the point in this scenario. Ah, man. Okay, what people would have done must be in the context of time elapsed. People driving or slowing down would have to stop caring, get out. The speed of the attack was less than 2 minutes. No one was standing next to her, and the Good Samaritan himself took at least 90 seconds to respond. This attack wasn't for 10 minutes. We must find the root of why things like this occur. Like murder, we don't know the mind of the criminal until they strike. All right, so that's a really interesting point. It does feel longer while you're watching it, but it happened really relatively quickly.
Yeah,
it is
for
a
sure,
minute.
it did.
Yeah.
But let me also say to that, though, only based on what the texters say, you have to slow down, you have to pull over, to get involved. But you have to slow down. You have to take your camera out. You got to focus your camera. You got to hit record.
Well,
all of that takes time as well.
Well, sadly.
You watching it, for those who watched it, you watched it from the start to the beginning. You watched it. So, yes, all of that takes time. But anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. Sadly.
Everybody has to determine, however, whatever they're going to do. If people felt there was a danger to themselves, it's a real thing. It isn't, you don't know. You don't have all the variables. You don't know if the gentleman had another weapon.
Right.
You don't know all of that. And so I get that. I'm not telling people not to throw caution to the wind or to say that people are evil because they, are thinking about their own safety. But somebody, and thank God there was somebody who maybe considered all of those things, but decided that I could not live with myself if I did not do something and did something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't even think about personal injury. All he knew was that someone was in distress, a female was getting, pummeled, and he was going to stand up.
Yeah.
And it only takes one person to do the right thing.
Clearly.
And it was the right thing to help that woman. And like I said earlier, I always walked around thinking that if I was in distress, someone would come to my aid because of where I live, not whether they know me or not. But I always carried that feeling about my people. Not so much anymore.
No.
I'm a little bit wary.
Until 2024, hey? Wow. If you're just joining us, Crime Stoppers Bahamas is just here. They're offering a reward to the Good Samaritan, the hero in this situation, and we hope that he will come forward and don't get any stupid ideas if you are not the hero. I'm sure they'll be able to identify him. Yeah. This texture says here, unfortunately, believe it or not, this is an agenda of the effect of the liberal agenda. Huh? And the nonsense they've pushed, which are anti-Bible. What's shocking is that a man stood up for the lady and not her fellow sisters. Texter, you really? When they find the criminal here who did the beating, both of you need to go for counseling. Both of you. I don't know what this is. What's shocking is that a man stood up for her and not her fellow sisters. It's possibly one of the dumbest texts I've seen this year. And I've seen a whole lot of dumb ones.
Dwight, you got to stop reading these.
I need people to know what's going on. I can't be the only one.
You can't be the
I don't want to be the only one. No, you're not going to do this to me. You're not going to cause me to be the crazy person walking around here talking to trees. No. All of us are going down if they're sending it to me. That's right. You better believe it. Ain't no way.
What is the saying? You know what I thought of? I thought of that saying, though. Evil prevails when good people do nothing.
Right. All right, let's take these calls really quickly. We've got to go to the news. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Dwight, I always, from time to time, call, and I normally just make the comments about studying our psyche. And like I was telling you before with the music and the effect it is having on brothers, because you could get in someone's psyche, you could you could control them. It's not the body, it's the mind. And I think the question we should ask is that what is our collective conscience as a group, and if there is any, and is this again another straight line of us falling apart of the consciousness of the Western Hemisphere, which is just constantly arcing self-interest or immediate self-interest? Because the actions that were taken by that gentleman, whoever he is, against that woman, he might it's clear that in the end it will affect our society. So in a negative way, even if he thought she was personally doing something against him. So I think this just reflects back to we us asking a national question, like, what is our collective conscience as a group of people? Like, what that means, because we have to figure out whether or not, as a group, when we look at ourselves, things like this, like, why is it happening more prevalent now, and the wanton disregard for each other? So I think this is a good time for us to ask that question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. One final call. Good morning. Call you on the air. Are you there? No. Okay. A couple text messages as we get ready to go to the break. This person says, remember I said that if we pass laws that allow Bahamians to arm themselves with firearms, I got to get out of here. This person says, Dwight, bye-bye. We'll miss you. Like, okay. Can you imagine that person?
So Dwight is saying, give them the gun over you.
No problem.
Between you and the gun, they choose the gun, Dwight.
I'll be on social media talking about the Bahamas. Look what happened today. 400 homicides in the Bahamas today. 500. Oh boy, yeah, because that's the future if they do it. This person that was one person who recorded what? Oh, this is an interesting text in response to something you said, Laverne. That was one person who recorded. What are the other variables? Most people take 15 seconds or less to aim and press record. Maybe the person wanted evidence. Without the video, we would be guessing as to what happened. Or as Marissa said earlier, we would not have believed it. And so it's a tricky situation. Sadly, a lot of people driving around with the phone already in their hand, they're just a centimeter away from pressing record. So, I mean, shows that the devil is prevailing in this country and all people are now low-value cowards. Oh, boy. A woman could get beat almost to death in public with no interference. What if he had a knife? And the fact that people actually contemplating whether or not they should have helped says volumes. Our country is full of low-value people with no morals. Well, that is very harsh.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, man. But, wow. All right, so we're wondering what's going on. We're seeing it every day. More and more people with issues, clearly mentally challenged, all over the streets of New Providence. And as Laverne said earlier in the show, in Grand Bahama, there are more now as well. We're going to talk about the mental health legislation that was passed a few years ago. We're going to go through that to see what we can do legally now to address these problems, if it is as simple as just taking people off the street and trying to get them help, or if it's more complicated. And if it is that simple, why are there more and more people, it seems, roaming about and being, let's face it, a nuisance? We're going to get into that. And if we have time, we'll get back to Bahamas here and read a lot of your messages. So we've got a lot to talk about. Still to come. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Hello? Linda, this is me. Oh. Listen, I think that this Christmas, you should really get in the spirit of things. I mean, apart from the great prices, I think your customers would like to see more of you. So I think that you should greet your customers, some in the morning, some in the afternoon. I don't expect you to be there all day. Now listen. Now, you know red is the color of Christmas. So I think that you should be in a red tuxedo. You would be saying something. Your customers would really feel like Santa Claus reach.
This Christmas. Sale ends December 21st.
Transform your home for less at Kelly's House and Homes Holiday Paint Sale, Friday, November 1st through Tuesday, December 24th. Enjoy 25% off house and spray paints plus 20% off paint supplies, excluding net items. Our wide selection of paint colors is the perfect way to bring holiday cheer to your home. You'll also find the best selection of brushes, rollers, and pans, glue, bladders, paint thinner, and more. So catch the holiday spirit and paint up for Christmas at Kelly's House and Home's Holiday Paint Sale.
Busy mornings demand a hearty breakfast, so start your mornings off the best way with Wendy's new breakfast wrap. Enjoy this savory wrap that's packed with fresh cracked eggs, breakfast potatoes, and a melty cheese sauce, with a choice of savory sausage or crispy bacon, all wrapped in a warm, soft tortilla. Wendy's always serves breakfast the right way.
This holiday season, stay connected to the ones you love with Alive. Switch today and get 5 gigabytes of data free with your first 30-day plan. Whether you're sharing holiday moments or enjoying Jonkanuan Bay, Alive keeps you connected all season long. Visit BeAlive.com to make the switch today. It's good to be alive.
This holiday season, use your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit or Visa debit card to book travel, shop online, buy gas, groceries, and everything else. And you could win up to $2,500 US.
Yes!
Win with joy with CIBC Caribbean. Lucky CIBC Caribbean cardholders like you will have the chance to win up to $2,500 US this holiday season just for using your card. Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.cibcfcib.com/the joy of giving for more details.
Ho, ho, ho! Get ready for Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. You can win a Cybertruck, a split of $50,000, and loads of more cash prizes via Spin the Wheel and the Cash Vault. It all goes down December 27th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the FML lawn. To earn a ticket to win, spend $20 between December 9th and 27th at participating Everybody Wins stores. The more tickets, the more chances to win. It's going to be live DJ, food, prizes, and surprises. It's the Jingle All the Pay grand event with Everybody Wins. Game responsibly.
Tired of banks forcing you to use they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Your health just got brighter with Lamp Insured. Sign up for Doctors Hospital's Lamp Insurance Supplement Plan and enjoy copay waivers and complete access with no upfront ER or inpatient collections. Only $30 per month. Visit doctorshosp.com/lamp to sign up or contact 242-822-1009. That's 242-822-1009. Your journey to affordable and worry-free healthcare begins now.
The holidays are here, and Dunkin' is spreading the cheer this season. Let Dunkin' be a part of your celebrations. Warm up with your favorite holiday drinks, grab a box of our famous donuts for your gatherings, or treat someone special to a Dunkin' gift certificate, the gift that always runs on joy. From our Dunkin' family to yours, we wish you a season filled with laughter, love, and a whole latte happiness. Happy holidays! And remember, the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Get ready for a magical Christmas movie marathon at the Nassau Cruise Port Amphitheater on Saturday, December the 20th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Bring your blankets and chairs and enjoy a night of nostalgic holiday classics with sweet treats and fun under the stars. Tickets are $10 for ages 13 and up, $5 for children 4 to 12, and free for little ones 3 and under. Purchase tickets at the door. Cash and card accepted. Don't miss the holiday fun at Nassau Cruise Port, the place to be.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to the special edition of Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and we're going to be talking about the mental health legislation we have in the country. This mental health bill that was passed a couple of years ago. We are seeing a very notable increase in the number of people who seem to be having mental health challenges on the streets of New Providence, definitely, and even on Grand Bahamas, Laverne is saying, and probably other places in the country. What does the legislation allow us to do in circumstances like this? We've had 3 now horrific incidents with people clearly mentally challenged who have been associated with murder, and rape, and violence, and this just cannot be allowed to continue. So we're going to look at this legislation to see what is working and what's not, and whether anybody's doing anything about it. Before we get to this, though, and this is in keeping with mental illness, this was one of the first text messages. I didn't read it at the time, but shortly after the show started, Laverne, in the overnight, the world news portion that we do, we told you about the case of Giselle Pellicot out of France. You've been following this situation?
No, I haven't.
So this is the woman, her husband. This is just a wild story. So the verdict came down in France today. Giselle Pellicot, 51 men charged with rape. In this case, her husband drugged her over a period of, I think it was 10 years, and allowed 51 men over this period to come and rape his wife while she was passed out. So 51 were all found guilty in some way or form in the drugging and rape trial that unwittingly turned Giselle Pellicot into a feminist hero, expressing support for other victims of sexual violence all over the world. And so somebody asked on our text line, very disturbed by the question, but anyway, can you tell me the age of the French woman who was being raped? I don't.
Does it matter?
Right, that's the first thing that I'm thinking. Does that matter at all? What are you trying to say? Because if it's 25 or older or whatever, it's all horrible. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Well, she just turned 72 a few days ago. Does that make a difference to you, texter? 72. So what now? But anyway, the world is sick. And getting sicker, it appears, in many regards. And we've got to do a lot to protect each other. And it seems many of us are failing at that. Okay, so let's get into this. Laverne, you have a copy of it as well. So the mental health bill, the summary, this is what it was meant to do. A bill for an act to repeal the Mental Health Act and to make provisions for the promotion, protection, and enforcement of the rights of persons diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of mental illness, the care and treatment of such persons who lack capacity due to mental illness, the establishment of a mental health services board, its composition, functions, powers, and duties, the establishment of a mental health review tribunal, its composition, jurisdiction, and proceedings, and for all connected purposes. This is 2022. Any of this sound like this is happening? Because all I see is people with... Anyway. Oh, boy. Okay. Anyway. I mean, I think we could stop right there. Look, this isn't going on. because he might have been joking, but somebody said it yesterday that back in the day when you had one person on a street corner, you've got 4 now at each corner. 4 of them doing various things, begging, talking to the tires on your car, offering to clean the windshield with their shirt that hasn't been washed since it last rained. This is what we're facing, and nobody's doing anything. Some are young, some are old, men, women, some in wheelchairs. It doesn't matter. 1 leg, 4 legs. All right. So,
and only to your question, Dwight, you say nobody's doing anything.
It doesn't appear to be.
Right. Yeah. Because what can you do? As we dive into this bill and you see someone who clearly is suffering from some sort of mental breakdown or some sort of mental issue, we don't know how many times there's been an attempt to help them.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much that you can do. Maybe they go through the program, but then they fall back. Maybe they have medication that's been prescribed to them that they're not taking. All of these factors.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the bill would speak to that. So let's see. So let's skip down to part 3, mental health care and treatment decisions. So this is 7, capacity to make decisions. 1, every person who is not a child and defined in this act is deemed to have capacity to make decisions unless it is established that he lacks such capacity. 2, a person is not to be treated as unable to make decisions unless all practicable steps to assist him in making decisions have been taken without success. 3, a person is not to be treated as unable to make decisions merely because he makes an unwise decision. Okay. Sure. 4, an act or decision made under this section for or on behalf of a person who lacks capacity to make decisions must be done or made in that person's best interest and respecting his will and preference. 5, before any action is taken on any decision made on behalf of a person who lacks, regard must be had to whether the purpose for which the action is needed can be effectively achieved in a way that is less restrictive of the person's rights. 6, for the purpose of this section, a person lacks capacity to make decisions if at the material time he is unable to make such decisions for himself because of an impairment of or disturbance in the functioning of the mind or brain, whether the impairment or disturbance is permanent or temporary. 7, a person is unable to make decisions if he is unable to A, understand the necessary information conveyed to him for making such decisions. That's a lot of people. B, understand the necessary implications of deciding one way or the other. That's the other half. C, retain that information long enough to be able to make the decisions. Well, D, use or weigh up that information to make decisions. E, appreciate any reasonably foreseeable consequence of a decision or lack of decision. Or F, communicate any such decisions by means of writing, speech, gestures, sign language, visual aids, or in any other manner. 8, a person is not to be regarded as unable to understand the information necessary for making decisions if he is able to understand the information given to him in a way that is appropriate to his circumstances, namely by using simple spoken or written language, visual aids, sign language, or any other means necessary to enable the person to understand the information. And 9, a person is not to be regarded as unable to make decisions by others as inappropriate or unwise, and that person shall be deemed to have capacity to make such decisions unless a court declares him to be without such capacity. A person is not to be regarded as unable to make decisions simply because the decisions are perceived by others as inappropriate or unwise. Okay. 10, where a person who has not made an advance directive appointing a nominated representative lacks capacity to make decisions for his mental health care and treatment, his nominated representative shall be determined in accordance with the provisions of Section 8, to make such decisions on his behalf. Okay, so we're getting into some important stuff here. Number 8, nominated and other representatives. 1, a person who is not a child but otherwise has legal capacity to make decisions regarding his mental health care and treatment may appoint a representative to make such decisions on his behalf, either at the time of receiving care and treatment or by an advance directive. 2, a nominated representative appointed by a person at the time of receiving mental health care and treatment or by an advance directive shall have authority to make decisions regarding the mental health care and treatment of the person who has appointed him if that person subsequently loses his legal capacity as defined in Section 7. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pause right there because this is begging the question: who's doing that? Is that board out there doing that? You see somebody naked in the streets doing handstands while you're stuck in traffic. Hey, we need to check this person out. Or are people saying, hey, these people crazy, eh? And driving off when the light turns green. Is that all that we're doing? Both?
I think that both.
Where's the evidence that the former is happening?
Yeah. I think that we have both. Some, I think that there are people, of course, who are going to be like, what is this? And, kind of carry on smartly. But I think that there are also people out there who are concerned and thinking, where's this person's family? This person clearly needs help.
And then they drive off.
Needs help. And maybe they don't know where to put that. Once they say that, they don't know. Is there a hotline that I can call to say, listen, I'm calling from, there's a lady, there's a gentleman, blah, blah, who needs attention?
I suspect the answer will be, yeah, he always doing that. Hang up. Or which one? Ah, boy. Okay. Number 3, where a person lacks legal capacity, but there is no nominated representative appointed pursuant to subsection 1, the following persons in the order of precedence indicated shall, for the purposes of this act, be deemed to be that person's nominated representative. A, any person appointed by an attorney, by an enduring power of attorney, which includes authority to make mental health care and treatment decisions on a person's behalf. B, any representative appointed for the protection of the person by the Supreme Court, which appointment includes authority to make mental health care and treatment decisions on his behalf. Okay, so that's already not going to happen, both of those. C, next of kin. Obviously, they don't care. Or they're tired or frustrated and glad that they're not in front of them. Right? Because, plenty of people, obviously, are driving around seeing their very close relative on the corner of that street doing all manner of foolishness.
Right. And you just may be that you've tried to help, and now you don't know what to do.
D, a caregiver. Well, they obviously don't have that. E, a suitable person appointed by the tribunal under Section 11. Well, this is the same thing we said. Is the tribunal working? And F, the director of social services where no other suitable person is available. And we can imagine the director is extremely overwhelmed with all manner of things. Not why we are where we are. 4, in the case of a child, his parent shall be nominated representative for the purposes of this act. 5, where a child has no parent, then the following persons mentioned in the order of precedence indicated shall be deemed to be his nominated representative. A, his guardian, B, next of kin, C, caregiver, or D, director of social services. Number 6, a person. A, nominated under subsection 1. B, deemed to be nominated representative under subsection 3. Or C, deemed to be a nominated representative of a child under subsection 4 or 5, shall be an adult and shall, except for the persons mentioned in subsection 3A, B, shall consent in writing to act as a nominated representative. And so a written consent required in subsection 6 shall be signed by A, the person nominated, B, the person nominating, and C, two witnesses at the same time or at the time the signatures of the nominated representative and the person making the nomination are made. This number is going to grow by the end of next week. This is a lot. This is complicated. This is complex. This is why. 8. A nominated representative shall completely discharge his duties and perform the functions assigned to him under this act, and shall do so in the best interest and in accordance with the will and preference, if known, of the person whom he represents. 9. Without prejudice to the generality of subsection 8, a nominated representative of a person shall, on that person's behalf, have the authority to A, provide support and give consent to mental health professionals making mental health care and treatment decisions. B, seek information from the mental health professionals concerning his diagnosis and treatment. C, make the application requesting discharge of that person and be involved in planning his discharge from a healthcare facility or mental health facility. Or D, apply for facilitated admission of the person to a healthcare facility or mental health facility. So it appears that this is what we've been wondering for many years. Don't people who work at these healthcare facilities see people and say, hey, we need to send the van to get this one? It doesn't look like that is that simple based on this.
Is there a van to send?
Well, that's another story. But no, this is why that person has been there for 5 years. 10. A nominated representative shall give his consent in writing to mental health care and treatment in a non-emergency to the responsible medical officer, psychiatrist in charge, or other mental health professional, or may do so orally in an emergency and confirm the same in writing thereafter. Writing. Okay. 11. The appointment of a nominated representative may be revoked or altered by the person making the appointment where that person has capacity to do so. In the case of the appointment of a nominated representative or a person deemed to be the nominated representative under subsection 3C or D of a person who is not a child, the responsible medical officer or psychiatrist in charge of the mental health care and treatment of that person may apply to the tribunal to revoke such an appointment if either is of the opinion that to do so is in the best interest of the person where his will and preference is not known, and the tribunal shall appoint another person as nominated representative. Okay, let's skip this part about the children. Oh, man. Diagnosis of mental illness. 1. Mental illness shall be diagnosed in accordance with nationally or internationally accepted medical standards, including the standards contained in the latest edition of the International Classification of Diseases of the World Health Organization, in accordance with the other standards as may be prescribed. I'm getting messages from people in this field, so I need to read these. 2. A mental illness shall only be diagnosed by a psychiatrist or other medical practitioner. 3. Any past treatment or hospitalization in a mental health facility shall not in and of itself justify a present or future diagnosis of mental illness. That one's important for many, many reasons. Some who know need to hear this, so don't make this a thing. Any past treatment or hospitalization in a mental health facility shall not in and of itself justify a present or future diagnosis of mental illness. Diagnosis of a mental illness under this act shall not be taken to mean that the person is suffering from insanity or from an abnormality of the mind for the purposes of Section 92 or Section 305 of the Penal Code, unless that finding is made by a court. Okay. So the this next section here, what are the rights of these folks who are seemingly to us having some issues? So that's part 4. Rights of persons with mental illness. 11.1. Every person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of a mental illness has the same constitutionally protected fundamental rights and freedoms afforded to others and protected by the Constitution, subject only to the exceptions and limitations in the Constitution. 2. In addition to his constitutional rights and freedoms, a person referred to in subsection 1 has the right to A, equal enjoyment of the highest attainable standards of physical and mental health. B, his inherent dignity, worth, and privacy. Oh, boy. Okay. C, subject to sections 19 and 21, give or withhold consent to 1, admission to a facility or mental health facility, 2, mental health care and treatment, 3, other mental health services, and D, participate in any decisions relating to his mental health care and treatment. So also C, respect for his will and preferences. Oh, that's E. F, respect for his individual social, economic, and cultural background, family circumstances, language, ability to communicate, age, disability, religion, or other matters pertaining thereto. G, respect for his sexual orientation, gender, or gender identity. H, participate in social life equally with others. I, be consulted, contribute to, and participate in the planning, design, implementation, monitoring, and review of mental health policy and mental health services. Number 12, right to access mental health and medical services. 1, every person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of a mental illness shall have the right to A, hospital and community-based mental health services, B, mental health services provided in the home environment, C, comprehensive and appropriate medical services, and 2, mental health services shall be affordable of the standard prescribed by the Act, and there's a lot about that. All right, so subject to admission to a mental health facility by the order of a court in the interest of that person's health or of the public safety, or to a voluntary or facilitated admission to a mental health facility, no person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of a mental illness shall be denied the right to live in and be part of the community. Okay. 14, right not to be discriminated against in accessing mental health services. A person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of a mental illness should not be discriminated against on the ground of his mental health status and shall be entitled to mental health care and treatment of a standard equivalent to the health care and treatment afforded to other health care users. Yeah, how are you feeling about it so far? Yeah? All right, and then we're going to do this, and then we want to hear from all of you. Part 5, care and treatment of mental illness. So 18, care and treatment of a person diagnosed with or exhibiting, yikes, what did I just do? Exhibiting mental illness. I just lost it. Are you there, Laverne? Can you pick it up while I get myself back into this?
Sure. Care and treatment of a person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of mental illness. 1, a person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of a mental illness shall, as far as possible, be cared for and treated without admission to a health facility or mental health facility where mental health care and treatment in such facility is not indicated, and the person can be appropriately treated without being admitted. 2, subject to subsection 3, where the condition of a person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of requires admission for care and treatment in a health facility or mental health facility, his admission shall be voluntary. 3, notwithstanding subsection 2, where a person's condition requires admission for mental health care and treatment, and that person lacks capacity to make such decision for himself, he shall be admitted and shall receive such care and treatment on a facilitated admission in a health facility or mental health facility. 19, voluntary admission of a person diagnosed with or suspected of having a mental illness. 1. Every admission to a health facility or a mental health facility shall, as far as possible, be voluntary, except where conditions for facilitated admission as specified in Section 21 exist. 2. Any person who is not a child who A. has been diagnosed with a mental illness or B. exhibits symptoms of a mental illness may make a request to be examined and assessed or further examined or assessed by a psychiatrist or medical practitioner. And if, after assessment and examination, he needs further mental health care and treatment or is diagnosed with a mental illness and requires mental health care and treatment, he may be cared for and treated at home or in a health facility or mental health facility. On 3, on an examination and assessment under subsection 2, a psychiatrist or medical practitioner shall make a report to the person responsible for admission to the health facility. The person responsible for admissions shall make, this is 4. The person responsible for admission shall make a voluntary admission of a person to a health facility for mental health care and treatment if he is satisfied that the person, A, has been diagnosed with a mental illness of a severity requiring such admission, B, is likely to benefit from that admission, C, has the capacity to understand the nature and purpose of the admission, and D, make the decision without support or required minimal support from others and has done so of his own free will.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop there. And just going to, one final part here I want to read, then we can discuss this at length with the time we have left. So there's number 24, admission of a person with a mental illness under a court order. So 1, a judge or magistrate may grant an order authorizing the admission of a person diagnosed with or exhibiting symptoms of mental illness into a health facility or mental health facility, and such order shall be sufficient authority for the lawful admission of and mental health care and treatment. Got to get a court order. Wow. 2, the admission of a person to a health facility or mental health facility under subsection 1 will be regarded as a facilitated admission, and the director of social services, the person's guardian, attorney, or conservator, shall act as a guardian ad litem, I don't know, Latin words, whatever, for the person in any proceedings before the court in connection with an order granted under this section. 3, where any person is admitted pursuant to subsection 1, the responsible medical officer of the health facility or the psychiatrist in charge of the mental health facility shall, at a frequency decided by the appropriate court, but not less than once in every 6 months, make a report regarding the mental and physical condition of such person to the director of social services, his guardian, attorney, conservator, nominated representative, if any, caregiver, next of kin, family member, or other representative, and the tribunal. 4, on receipt of a report referred to in subsection 3, the tribunal shall hold a hearing at which the director and the attorney, guardian, conservator, or other legal representative, if any, of the person admitted shall attend, next of kin or family. This is a lot. Okay, I'm going to stop. So, what was the point of all of this? Just to show you how complicated it is to deal with all the madness, literally, that we are seeing on the streets of New Providence. Do you hear all of that? You have to go through a lot of hoops to get someone into treatment. A lot. And this is why, folks, as I step out of the studio this morning, I guarantee you there'll be somebody out there who is doing some questionable things. And there will be at least 4 others before I get 25 feet. And we're going to be overrun very soon if we're not careful here. This is, I appreciate what they're trying to do here. They're trying to do things the right way. They don't want to violate people's rights.
Right.
But our rights to be free from harassment from people who are having mental breakdowns or whatever. What about us? What about us? What are we going to do? Let's get your reaction to it all. this is a lot. The Director of Social Services. Definitely a lot going on with the Director of Social Services, but they feature prominently in this. Courts, backlog. Tribunal, have you heard anything from this tribunal? What's happening?
Right.
Any evidence that anything has been done? Let's talk. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. And while this is happening, in 2 years since this passed, we've had somebody who we believe, because no one's been charged yet, who has mental issues, who kidnapped and tortured and raped a 12-year-old girl. Somebody who broke into a woman's house, a grandmother, and raped her. And now, possibly with this situation, because the victim doesn't know him, beat her to nearly death in broad daylight while everybody stood around. What are we doing in this country? All right, call it.
Like you said, Dwight, this legislation has to walk a fine line between making sure that people have access to the right mental health care that they need, but also not infringing on their rights.
Mm-hmm.
But you made a good point. Well, what about those of us what about our rights?
Yeah.
Right? The majority of us, what about our rights? We're exposed to certain things. How do we maneuver? What is our protection? Do we have, like you said, is there a number that we can call where we see, hey, I was here or I was there? There's obviously someone who is not, to be able to control themselves. They're acting in a way that's very, concerning. It could become violent, their behavior, whatever.
They'll tell you to call us when it becomes violent, when a crime has been committed, because they are well within their rights to do this. And until the next of kin, the caregiver, the court-appointed, whatever, decides that we need to do something now, then nothing is going to happen, it appears. Nothing is going to happen. So, let's hear what this caller has to say. Good morning, you're on the air.
Is that me?
Yes, you're on.
Hey, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, right, I'm going through a situation as such whereby these people that bothers me, I had them to court on several occasions. His mother said that he is crazy, but yet he all over the place. He comes on my premises, he breaks down my gate, my fence and stuff like that, do other foolishness. I mean, I want to say what he does over the air. But the thing is, nothing is being done. Every time I call all the police come and does is talk to his mother, right? Occasionally, right? But the thing is, they need to take him up to Silence or someplace, and that's what nobody are doing.
Well, they can't.
But it costing me a big problem. But if I go deal with it myself, I get some problem.
Yeah. Well, according to this, no one can do that. You just can't go and take somebody and drop them off at Sandlands. No.
Well, can you, after, so many warnings, when it's clear the mother is saying, and I don't know if when the mother says that, mentally he's unstable, if that is a medical diagnosis. Person has been medically diagnosed to be unstable, prone to these kinds of behaviors. And maybe I overlook it. Is there a point where law enforcement can say, well, this is the situation, and after so many warnings, we are going to take this individual in force, maybe a re-diagnosis because they are deteriorating, their mental capacity is deteriorating. We have to do it at this point. This is like 3 strikes, or I don't know.
This is what you're proposing, or you're asking if this is a thing?
I'm wondering if that is a thing, and if not, can it become a thing?
Doesn't appear it's a thing. You could want it to be a thing. Does that mean it will become a thing? But it's a great suggestion. But I don't think we have a. Do we have anything? Where is it 3 strikes and you're out thing here?
No, we didn't read it or anything, and
No.
I didn't see anything last
No,
night.
I mean any law, anything at all.
Oh.
You could knock down 3 people. Does that mean anything? Would you lose your license over that? Like, the 3 people as in each year. I don't think that makes any difference. No. Keep doing it until you can't. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, again. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi.
Dwight,
Morning.
I told you to invite the Minister of Health.
Mm-hmm.
Come and explain.
Do you think I'll be less frustrated hearing that than what we just read?
No, but I mean, he knows the basic tenets of what this law was proposing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to hear all that rigmarole and this and that. Just tell us what was the purpose of passing this law, okay? Because what we understood that with the passing of the law, they would have the capability of removing these individuals off the street, right? That was the basic understanding, my understanding of it, right? And so he need to come and to explain, because in the 2 years that this law has passed, what has been done? How effective has the law been? And just like all the other laws that they passed, the anti-gang law, has anybody been put before the courts as yet for being in gang? So what is the purpose of you going to Parliament, wasting time writing up these bills that it's not even worth the so-called paper that it's written on? Right? We need people. We need laws, but we need enforcement of these laws. We need these laws that when they are passed in the Parliament and they are consented, that they take effect.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, not right.
I mean, I think it's decent legislation. Thank you, caller. But the challenge is we don't have the capacity to handle this, right? This is a lot of work, and you're going to need a whole bunch of dedicated people and facilities to be able to do what this requires. And it will take a long time to address even one person who fits this criteria. And a lot of moving for that to happen, which is why in the 2 years we have seen numbers grow. And the family members aren't doing anything to get these people the help because it seems that they're no longer in front of them. I don't see you, so you're no longer my problem.
Right.
And so I am glad when I don't see you. And if I see you when I drive by on the corner, at least he's alive. That seems to be how this works. And it's very sad. Okay, really quickly, call. You got like 20 seconds. We got to go.
Never mind that. Never mind.
No, you don't want to say it? Can't do it in 20?
Time to say.
Let's try.
It wouldn't make much sense if I don't get to complete what I want to
Oh,
say.
dear. Okay. Well, next time. Thanks a lot. Let me read these really quickly as we go. Dwight and Laverne, I want to use that mental health bill at Parliament. Clearly, we have the right to round them up. Oh, my. Okay, I'm not going to continue. Oh, boy. Oh, my Lord. Ad litem, pronounced ad litem. Thank you so much. A guardian appointed by the courts. It's good to know my life is saved now for that. I'm a woman that watched a mother beaten black and blue. Then police came and laughed with my dad, then left. And then I've experienced assault and been treated inhumanely by police, almost thrown downstairs, and told that if I touch them as I fall, I'll be arrested for assault. I'm not a criminal, by the way. I'm a normal tax-paying Bahamian. I fear for my country. Even the police need mental help. No one has empathy and are full of hatred. Why is this? Were we always like this? Or are we desensitized like the people in Haiti now? What now? Where people get murdered in the streets as people watch. Oh, man. Okay. Dwight, your tone is defeatist. Every person named as a decision maker on behalf of the mentally challenged person received a scoff from you. Who would you then recommend? Again, it was the list. And it's a judge and it's the director of social services. Are they going to have time to deal with all of these people? That's the thing. That is very complicated. When will that person get a chance to see a judge and they have to agree to somebody to be their representative? They're not going to agree to this. This is almost impossible. Impossible to get done. That's the point. And that's why defeatist, that's what you say? Okay. Because now I understand why nothing's changed in 2 years. I'm not trying to figure out why we didn't go deeper into this 2 years ago, but I mean, with the supermajority, no matter what you say, things pass in our wonderful House of Assembly. But we've got a problem. We've got a lot of work to do, and it's going to be hard for us to get out of this. And it doesn't appear. Have you heard anything much yet from our lawmakers to address these issues? People are getting murdered and raped and beaten up and nearly killed by people apparently with mental health issues, and we're not seeing any changes.
Yeah.
So, with that, everybody have a wonderful Christmas. Laverne, we won't get to talk before Christmas, well, at least on the air. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
You the same.
And we're going to hopefully get you on a special New Year's Eve edition of the show. Wow, thanks a lot. I'll be back tomorrow morning, though, with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
Looking for unique and exciting Bahamian experiences? Street Smart has you covered. Whether it's snorkeling, cultural tours, or hidden dining gems. And for local business owners, this is your chance to get in front of millions of visitors by joining the Street Smart platform. Showcase your products and services. Street Smart is your connection to unforgettable experiences. Visit StreetSmart242.com today. Sign up and let's show the world the best of the Bahamas. Street Smart, connecting you to unforgettable experiences. Download now.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.